Welcome to Super Special Mamas. I am your host, Pre, and this is a community where we can say the quiet part out loud. Like sometimes being a special needs mom sucks. Not all the time, but sometimes because we go through a lot, right? So here at Super Special Mamas, this is a place where you can come and say that because we all understand. I want to introduce a super special mama, KB the Special Needs Mom on TikTok and on Instagram. And if you follow her on Facebook, she is Special Needs Mom Talk. Disclaimer for you guys listening, I am struggling with my allergies today. I'm in Texas and Georgia, where KB is from, is very similar when it comes to these allergies. And it's the fall and we are going through it. So please pardon my dust, pardon my sniffling and all that stuff. But this is a very important show, and I have a super special guest. So thank you, KB, for joining. How are you?
Hello, good morning. It is my pleasure to be here. All is well.
Early in the morning, kids off to school?
Early in the morning, they are off at school.
Okay. So today we're going to talk, of course, about our super special babies. We're going to talk a little bit about KB's journey. We'll talk about self-care. We'll talk about advocacy. But first, I want to start, KB, and ask you, who were you before? Before you became a mama and before you became a mama advocate, what were you doing? What was that KB like? What did you
Um,
do for fun? What did you do to find joy? Like,
First I'd like to say that I totally agree. Sometimes special needs parenting sucks. But we're given that strength and we're given the task to keep going. And I like what you're doing and starting your podcast and just allowing mamas like us to be vulnerable because we need that safe space within the community. So thank you.
yeah.
But so beforehand, before I became a special needs mama, my first daughter was came out with special needs. Well, she didn't come out with special needs. We
I
found
understand.
out, later on. But I lived my life. I had her towards my mid-20s. I was super outgoing, the life of the party. I literally had just gained my way up in the job from just becoming a line employee to management. So it was a big ordeal for me. So life had seriously just started for me in my mid-20s. You know how they say, oh, like, how did you figure out your life or when, at what age? And that was around the time where I started to figure out my life. Um, so I did what I
If you
wanted
don't,
to
I'm
do.
sorry, I hate to interject. You said you moved up from a line employee to what? Do you want to tell us what you were doing?
Management position. Oh yeah, absolutely.
What field?
So I was working in hospitality. I worked in a hotel. So I had went from housekeeping to office coordinating. And from office coordinating, I actually was able to get the laundry management position within the whole department. So
Mhm.
my plans was to move on up the bracket, like from management, I wanted to go
Yes.
elsewhere. So I had all these dreams and these aspirations of what I was going to do. I literally was looking to transfer to either Florida or New York City to work within the field because that's how much I loved it. And I felt like, this was it for me, you know?
Yes.
And things were looking good. Pay was looking good. I could do whatever I wanted to do. I was just lit. Let's just say that. No strings
You have
attached.
some stories to tell your babies.
That's right. That's right.
So life has a funny way of taking us on a different path. You mentioned your dreams, and then what happened where you had to kind of put that on hold?
Okay. So I'm still within my management position as we had conceived Sky. And so I'm working and all of a sudden at the doctor's appointment where you find out the sex of your baby, they were like, hey, well, you have to be admitted to the hospital as soon as possible because you are starting to dilate. And of course, it was too soon for me to have this baby. God
I'm
bless you.
sorry.
God bless you.
I need to
So it
find a
was
mute
too
button.
soon for me to have this baby.
Okay.
Um, and that's where it started to change for me. I was put on bed rest. I was actually, I would like to say it was a demotion. Whenever they take you out of position and replace your position with somebody else, I was demoted. So, that's when it started for me. But after having her, I had her in just about like a little over 24 hours of birth. That's when we figured out, or we found out all the things that was going on with Sky. So to make a long story short,
What's her official diagnosis?
I'm sorry, her main diagnosis is traumatic brain injury, along with HIE. Um, from that, she was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, and she does have a rare genetic disorder called panhypopituitarism. So those are her diagnoses.
So traumatic birth and HIE because you dilated early. You went into labor early?
It was
No.
I went full term. I carried the baby
Oh,
full term. I carried the baby full term. The TBI and HIE actually came shortly after birth. So I had her, was put on the labor and delivery floor, and I knew something was wrong with my baby. Although I'm a first time mama, something wasn't sitting right with me. Um, so to make a long story short, she was seizing the whole time. She was having seizures for 24 hours, and literally no nurse, no doctor would really hear my concerns in regards to what was happening to my baby. So that's where the TBI and HIE came from. Yeah,
I
because
can
she,
imagine
mhm,
because I've been there, being in, well, for me, NICU, but not knowing what's going on, but feeling that something isn't right.
yes.
And that's another discussion about Black women and
hmm
the medical
hmm
system. But I will pause
Absolutely.
there and let you continue.
Oh no, I say that all the time. When it comes to us being Black women, we just don't get that same treatment. Honestly speaking. But to continue answering your question, so shortly after that, of course, she went to the NICU, all the things, but she wasn't getting better. Like, you go to the NICU and you think preemies, like you think of like little babies up until you have to go through that and actually experience that. So here I am in the NICU with a full term baby, and we weren't getting answers for just about 2 weeks. It was crazy. Okay. So to make a long story short, went through all of my time on maternity leave. Um, I had actually filed for FMLA. I did all the things to make sure income was still coming in while I was at the hospital. So just about, I think it was like 3 months is when I just had to wash my hands and I had to resign. Because it was never the question if it was for me to pick this job or my child. Of course, I picked my child.
So, what has been, well, at the beginning, what were some of the biggest challenges that you faced? How long did it take for you to get your diagnosis? Did you know before you left the hospital, or how long
So
did it
we
take?
did. We found out before she left the hospital. We found out. So we started at one hospital, but we actually put in a request to have her transferred to a children's hospital in Atlanta. So we went to this children's hospital, and as soon as we were there, I think it was like maybe like a couple of weeks. No, sorry, not a couple of weeks, a couple of days. Um, we had actually gotten the MRI and all of that stuff, and they had told us that she had endured a lot of brain damage from those seizures. So we found out maybe like 2 weeks after having her. And then because of those seizures that she had, they had to figure out what was causing the seizures. So, of course, the rare genetic disorder pan-PIT is what caused the seizures. So,
So, were you able to get, um, did you feel informed? Like, were the doctors able to tell you about what was happening? Or did you do research on your own? Like, we go into mama bear mode, and just start finding out all the information that we need. Did you feel like you had support from the hospital at that time?
I would honestly like to say at the children's hospital, absolutely. Absolutely. But being that all things were new to me, I had to do my own research. So, we're eager to know, although we're in the grieving process, we were eager to know, like, what caused this, or how did this happen, and what do we have to do?
So your baby Sky is 9.5.
Yes.
And can you tell me a little bit about the early days, or I guess maybe the journey so far?
Hmm.
Like, what has been the most challenging for you? I know you're still learning, even though
Yes.
she's 9.5, right?
Yeah.
There's
Every day
still
is a
a long
learning.
journey.
Mhm.
So, like, versus when she was an infant until now.
So I will admit, I'll be the first to admit that her infant days were the worst years of my life. Just from being in and out of the hospital, still learning about her rare genetic disorder, tackling therapies, because we started off at therapy 5 days a week. It was like, they're like, they present you with this and they're like, hey, like, we're hoping and we're thinking that therapy can help your child. So as soon as we got that, as soon as we were told that, we instantly went into intervention mode. The journey was rough, super exhausted. And at that point, it wasn't just that I was a special needs mom, but I was also a medical mom. Um, I can't even count how many times in and out we were in the emergency room in her early years. So I would like to say during my journey, the early days were the hardest for me, but it gets better. It gets better. And I think that with me holding on to the possibilities, the what ifs, or holding on to my mustard seed, it's like I had that faith that I knew that, miracles were going to happen within my child. And Lord and behold, she's not where an average child would be, but I will never compare her to an average child.
Absolutely.
But she has come very far, very, very far.
So, is Sky walking and she's verbal or nonverbal for the audience that don't follow you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Sky started walking at 3.5 years old. So she is walking,
That made it a
walking.
little easier, right? Her being able to walk.
Yes. Oh yeah, absolutely. But does she want to walk all the time? No. So she does have like a little lag in her left leg, and she kind of drags it a little bit. Um, but she's walking. She is actually nonverbal. But baby, she don't need words to get her point across, okay?
Right, understand. So I have a question for you, and this is for my own information.
Absolutely.
What did you do those first 3 years? So my daughter, she's not walking,
Wow.
and she's almost 3. And
Yes.
if I tell you my back is killing me,
Mm-hmm.
what did you do, like, as far as transporting her? Did you just have to pick her up, or did you use her in the put her in the stroller as much as possible? For me, it's just picking her up from taking her from the house to the car to get her to
Yes.
daycare and all that. Like,
Yes.
it's my back.
Mm-hmm.
any,
Oh yeah.
any
Oh yeah.
suggestions?
So, with Sky, she, because of her rare genetic disorder, she grew really, 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 really small. Like she was very petite in the beginning. So that kind of made it easier. But I will say, like, we lived in a basement apartment, and baby, when I say she was wheeled around in a wagon, we had a little trikes wagon that I will wheel her around in because it was just like the impossible. Um, so the wagon was our best friend. Of course, strollers like when we go out and stuff, but we did wagon. We did a wagon. We still do wagons. So
So let's talk about you.
yes,
And you
ma'am.
mentioned your journey. How do you think, and how do I phrase this? I know we hear the cliche things. They're true. Like, I do feel like I was chosen for this journey. I know you
Mhm,
feel like you were chosen for this journey.
mhm.
But how do you think it has changed you?
Honestly speaking, it has changed me in so many ways that you could not like I can't even imagine. Like let me just how can I put this? Um I used to be on the level of like And I'm not talking about like fame or anything like that, but I'm talking about like how she is. Like I was like literally on like a Cardi B level, like da 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 da, you know. And God set me down. He set me all the way down. And I have evolved into, who can I say, more like I don't know. I'm just more chill now than I ever was in my life. Um, so it's changed me in a lot of ways. But I used to be like this rah 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 person. So please, baby, that doesn't even faze me. Like we're going through real deal, real life stuff today,
Yeah.
tomorrow, and the next day. Like,
Yeah, I totally get it. And this is probably a discussion for another podcast, but I was very
mm-hmm.
impatient and selfish, right?
Okay,
And I don't know, like, not to get spiritual, but sometimes I'm like, well, God, I know I asked for patience. I asked for patience. Is this the test, right?
yes,
For
yes,
patience? Because I
yes,
have definitely had to become very patient
mm-hmm.
and selfless. I
Yes,
used to say, people that know me from my 20s,
mm-hmm.
that I was never having kids
Mm-hmm.
because I just want to live my life. I just want to go and hop up and
That's
I
right.
don't want no
That's right.
responsibilities. That I used to say that for the longest.
Mm-hmm.
And that changed when I got married. After a few years of marriage, right? I just felt like maybe the capacity for my heart kind of got bigger. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes,
My
mm-hmm.
husband had two sons and he had a lot of friends that were foster parents. And so we had
Okay.
started going through the foster parent, which I was totally against it because I didn't want kids. I didn't
Yes,
want to
yes,
raise
yes.
anybody else's kids,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
But I don't know, something just changed and my heart got softer and the whole patience, dealing with patience and being selfless. So this is definitely being a super special mama is the ultimate test of patience, right?
Yes,
Because
absolutely.
it is hard. It is hard.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now
Yes.
I will agree that in my early like in the early years I was angry. I was I was always angry and it wasn't specifically like at my child. It was more so at the situation at hand because it's like baby, I did all the things. I stopped drinking caffeine. I stopped smoking because I was a smoker. I stopped smoking. I did all the things to carry a healthy baby. And I was just angry. I was so mad. Um, so I
Yes,
guess
you
my heart
question,
got
like,
more pure, like my
yeah,
love, like, so.
yes. I said that I am definitely more empathetic now
Mhm.
and more
Agreed.
mushy, right? Mushy
Yeah.
anymore. TikTok has me crying all day. All of the super special mamas that I follow
Hmm.
and everyone's sharing their babies and their
Yeah.
milestones for our special babies and it's just tears every day.
Now,
But I
see,
wasn't
stuff
like that
like that
before.
makes me smile. Like stuff like that makes me smile. What really gets me though is because what really gets me is like, say for instance, like I meet somebody, you say, "Oh, well, my daughter's 9," and I'm like, "Okay, well, my daughter's 9." That right there made me bust out in a ball of tears because it's like that was supposed to be my child, supposed to be, but that was never our journey.
And so how let's go there. How do you deal with the grief and the comparison? And it's natural, it's normal.
It's
We all go
natural.
through it
Hmm.
as super
Hmm.
special moments, right?
Absolutely.
What and I do think it's important for us to acknowledge it and have our moment. Like have your moment. You're angry, have
Have
your
your
moment.
moment. I crashed
But
out last week. I'm just being honest.
yes, have your moment.
Yes.
How do you bring it back into perspective? Or what
Hmm.
do you do to, I guess, yeah, I mean, bring it back into perspective or to get
Yeah.
out of our feelings about it.
Yeah.
After you have your
Um,
moment, what do you do to come back?
yeah, 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 yeah. I think I just wear this invisible cape all day, every day, right? And I feel like I can never take it off. So I can't really say that I have dealt with my grief, honestly speaking. Like I'll deal with the moment, but the grief, I'm still grieving. And my daughter's almost 10 years old and I still grieve. Okay. Um, but I give myself that moment, you know? Um, I give myself that moment to break down, to feel all the feelings, because I feel like if you mask it, then your feelings and your emotions are going to stay built up inside, you know? Um, so I
And
just,
that's already taking a toll on our health, right? Holding that
yeah.
in.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I I think it is important for us to try to deal with our grief. I don't know how. I don't have the answers either,
Yeah.
which is
Mm-mm.
part of the reason why I'm doing this.
Yes.
Uh, because us all being able to talk about it, we can get it out. Um, I feel like we just cycle through the stages of grief all
Yeah.
the time.
I
All
feel
the
like I just
time,
told my sister it's like seasons for me. It's like I can go 6 months and I'm cool, but then it's just like this one season that wants to pick me up and sweep me off my feet and make me feel like the weakest person. You know, it's real. It's real.
Yes, absolutely. So has anything changed like within your friend circle? Do you feel
Yeah.
like, yeah, you want to talk about that?
For sure, for sure. When you're that lit person, that party person, that outgoing person, everything's all good, you know? Um, but just like in any life changing situation, people fall off and they disappear, you know? Um, but life goes on. And
Yes.
I think that I half of them I don't miss because life for me keeps going. Life for everyone keeps going, but it's in a different form of I don't have time to worry about who I lost or what's going on over here, dealing with what I'm doing right here, if that makes sense. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you
I
wish them
do
well.
have one of my best friends. She's an awesome mom. Her
Yes.
son is 3, and
Okay.
he's on the spectrum. So,
Uh-huh.
so we make a point to check in with each other. Just how's your mental health? How you feeling? How you
Yes.
doing?
Yes.
We live on separate sides of town, so we don't see each other that often. But I think for me, that's kind of helpful having her because I know she understands the struggle. But as you said, the invite stopped. We don't get invited to stuff. I don't have many people that just call to check in on us,
That's
right? Or on
right.
our
That's
babies. So
right.
yeah.
Hmm.
And we grieve that too, don't we?
We grieve that too, absolutely. But don't grieve it on cuz. Listen, just like you picked up your awesome mom friend, it's somebody else out there. As I'm building the community of special needs, well, being an advocate for a special needs community, I feel like I'm attracting the people that I'm supposed to be connected to within this
Yes.
journey. Because my 3-year old is average, right? But I'm a special needs mama first. So I
Mhm.
feel like to grasp that part of it, because the other part comes easy. The average part comes easy. It's hard. Motherhood is hard, without a doubt. But back to comparisons, if you want to compare the average and the special needs, baby, the average is up here. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
So let's talk about you have
mhm.
2 daughters, right?
I have 2 daughters.
And your younger daughter, how old is she?
She's 3.
She's 3.
Yes,
And how do you balance that? Because a 3-year-old is very high needs as well. The average 3-year
absolutely.
old is very high needs.
But
How do you balance um, teaching her that her sister is different, right?
yes. Hmm.
What is that like? Tell me about that journey, that
Oh,
part of the journey.
listen. I Let me just first say that I want one more child. In my heart, I want one more child, right? But how blessed we are to have that second child come out in the most perfect way. And I don't say that in physical form. I say that as part of like spirit form. It was like she was here before. She came
Mm,
in and it's like she knows, just as she came in and she fit right into our family. It was never a part of me. I explain to her all the time. I tell her all the time just so she know, but it's just the point of like how easy she was. Um she was just so easy. Like
and her spirit and her heart towards her
her
sister.
spirit and her
Yes.
heart was like, hey, although I came to be your daughter, I also came to be that helper. Because why are you 1 year old and you're grabbing diapers and wipes for me, or you want to get the extension tube for me. Like, what is happening?
That's
So
awesome.
it
God knew
it was a
exactly what you
blessing.
needed. He knew
Yeah.
exactly what you
Oh
needed. I
yeah.
said the same thing because my firstborn son passed away at 5 months. He
Hmm.
had a rare disease, and I was pregnant. He passed in January. I was pregnant by March with my
Oh,
daughter.
yes, ma'am.
And she, uh, aside from the CP diagnosis, right? Her temperament, she's just the happiest baby. She didn't really cry, only when she was hungry, sleepy, the normal, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But she wasn't a crybaby.
Hmm.
She was just a happy, just joyful, even now, just all the time. And I feel like if God would have given me a crybaby, and we
Hmm.
all know what crybabies are, right? Like I've had
Oh yeah.
plenty of nieces and nephews and friends with kids that just cried all the time for no
Yes.
reason.
Yes.
But she was not like that. She's not like that. And I just felt like God knew if he would have, I would have lost it. I would have lost it because I already have anxiety and having to deal with that and grief, right? Grieving
Grief.
my son
You
and
went through
raising,
grief. You went through trauma. You went through a whole lot. Hmm.
and it helps a lot having children that are easy or have
That are
temperaments that are,
easier.
yes,
She's a
yeah, I
she's a
totally,
sweet girl. She's a very sweet girl, and she's 3, but she understands a lot. But just balancing the two, I don't. I always have both of them. So it's like you get an arm, you get an arm. If I don't have any more arms to spare, you gotta wait. You know what I mean?
mhm. Now,
So
do you deal with overstimulation? The
oh yeah,
kids, the
oh
family,
yeah,
husband, right? I know
oh
you're
yeah.
married, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So
Yes, ma'am.
how walk me what you do when you're overstimulated. How do you handle that?
I'm gonna be real. I'm just gonna be real with you. Um, I call on Jesus a lot during the day. Okay, I call on Jesus. Jesus, if you don't come help these people in my house, I'm going to freaking lose it. Okay. But besides, like, I don't want to say besides spiritual. Again, I have to sit in my feelings. If I have to scream, I'm going to scream. Whether it's at the kids, the husband, or the dogs. If you're in my path, you're gonna get it. Like it,
Yeah.
it is what it is. So,
And I
you know,
understand. And I sometimes feel like the husbands don't understand. Like I am touched out right now. And then I feel guilty because as the mom, we're the focal point, right? We're
yes,
the reason
yes,
that everybody's here.
we're
And
the
so they all
core.
want our love and our attention. Yeah. And
Hmm.
you feel guilty because I just need a moment to myself.
Yeah,
I
I
just don't
feel
want
super
anybody to touch me
guilty.
right now.
Yes, yes.
I just want to run and hide, but not
Hmm.
because I don't love you. I love you. I love y'all.
That's
I
right.
just need a moment.
That's right. I need
So
a moment. And it's and why I say that I have to deal with my emotions or the overstimulation when it comes. I say that because I can go in the bathroom and shut the door, but a little human's
go,
gonna be
yeah.
knocking on my door. Where's your dad?
Hmm.
Like, where is
Hmm.
your dad? So that just, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Dad can't do it like mama do it. Why?
Mm-mm.
Yes, he can.
That's
He's
right.
capable.
That's right. He's
He can
capable.
do it. Go try. Go ask him.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
okay. So let's bring it back to you. Um, let's do a little dreaming, I guess.
Hmm.
If there is something that you could change, not about the kids, right? Just
Hmm.
about
Hmm.
you and where you are. Um, something that you want to do, like a dream or a goal or something that you've been thinking, like, this is something that I need to do. I just don't have time. But if I had the time, I would get to it. Or if I had the resources, whatever, if it's money, if it's just extra hands, what is something. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah,
Something that you may have
absolutely.
been putting off that you want to get to, but you haven't
Yeah,
had
yeah,
the,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
guess, the
Um,
proper motivation or circumstances or whatever.
yeah. I think I would honestly like to say that like social media is one thing, you know what I mean? But getting actually out in the community where you live, bringing awareness. My dream is to be within my community, um, and spread the goodness of special needs. Um, I eventually I'll be, I want to become a coach to special other special needs. And I say specifically mamas because we bear the weight. Um, there's nothing like talking to a mama who can relate, you know? We don't have to have the exact same stories, but if I know that I'm gonna be talking to Drew's mama at 6 p.m. on Thursday, I'm gonna be looking forward to that. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
it's a form of therapy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I want to eventually be within a community where I live, or even just to start coaching somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Talk to
think.
me a little bit about your social media journey because I found you on TikTok, KB, the special needs
Mhm.
mom. When did you start? When did you decide to start advocating on social media? How long have you been in the journey?
So actually, I think I posted, so I was on TikTok for fun. Like everybody in 2020 was on TikTok for fun. I started off on TikTok with like makeup transitions, right? Because I got into makeup. It's a whole nother story for that, right? But
Yeah, you can say
I'm a
that.
self-taught. Yeah, so I'm a self-taught makeup artist, and I actually got into teaching myself how to do makeup and how to beautify people because, like, I'm going backtracking to the first couple of years of my life, baby. It was rough, and I looked the part to what I was living, honestly speaking. And I was like, listen, like if I could just learn how to do this and help beautify somebody else. So anyway, that was what my TikTok was about, but it was up until like I think it was like 2022. It was either 22 or 23. I want to say maybe early 23. Besides like the funny mom content, I posted a video of Sky. And I said, this is my special needs daughter. She has a G-tube. I asked her to show me her G-tube and she lifted up her shirt. And when I say the people went crazy, and I was like, hold on, wait a
Yeah.
minute. So all it took for me was to share this little piece of my life with them. Because, you can mask
Yeah.
whoever you are on the internet. Um, so after that one video, I took some time at it and I just went for it. I just went for it because I felt like, back to the algorithm, they'll show you people like you who are living like whatever you're posting or whatever the type of content you're looking at, they're going to push it to you. And I was like, there's other people doing this. Like, I can't be afraid to share my story because my daughter has one heck of a story. So that's how we started.
And then Special Needs Mom Talk on Facebook. How is that one going? Do you
I
have
really,
much engagement there? Like the thing I'm struggling
oh
with, I think TikTok, we have way more engagement, right? On TikTok
yeah,
than we
oh
do.
yeah.
TikTok is great.
I love TikTok, and you know what I love about TikTok? Strangers, people that I don't even know. Yeah, versus Facebook. You know these people, and it's like the people that you think are gonna support you or supposed to support you. That's just like people falling off. They'll see you one time and then they'll swipe up, be like, "Oh, I'm tired of her." I started Facebook a couple months ago, so it hasn't really been long, but it's not a lot of engagement, like you said. I
Hmm.
guess it's hard. So
Yeah. And that's interesting how we get more support from strangers than we do.
from
Like we
strangers,
found our community amongst strangers than the people that we know. And that's kind of sad, but part of the purpose, right?
part of the purpose. Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. I see you're on Instagram. You have quite a few followers on Instagram too, right?
Eh, no, like 2,200 or something. So, well, my original career was a chef. So I think a
Oh,
lot of those, yeah, when I moved to Georgia, I was a private chef. And so I think a lot of my followers follow me because of the food content.
yes,
So, and
absolutely.
when my son passed away, I literally just switched my page over to talk about my
Okay.
son.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So, so the engagement on there is really sketchy. And I don't know, I just I guess God would just direct me on the way that I should go, and maybe I should focus more on TikTok. But the goal is to build a community offline as well.
Yes,
Because
yes,
when you
yes.
mentioned makeup, I was doing the same thing. I'm not a makeup artist at all, but I just wanted to learn. So I started watching a bunch of
Hmm.
videos and just trying
Yes.
to do it myself. But when you mentioned that, I totally see an event that maybe we can do together
Okay.
for mamas, you know, like a
Yeah,
self-care type of event, because you're
absolutely.
right. You're right. I think for a while I used to walk around looking raggedy. And then one day
Listen.
I said, you know what? Let me try to do my makeup because I am looking
Uh-huh.
raggedy.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
And I didn't even care. I didn't even care
Mhm.
because my child's life meant more to me than appearance at that time. Okay?
Yes. Yeah. But this is so important because we matter and we have to be
We
well for
matter.
them.
I'm learning
Yes.
that. I'm learning that. Absolutely.
We do
Yeah,
matter. Everybody depends on us, so we have to take care of ourselves inside and outside so that
absolutely.
we can be there for them.
Yes,
Now,
absolutely.
I know that we could probably chat all day, so let me
Hmm.
see. If you could go back in time and give yourself advice on day one of this journey, what would it be?
Um, advice. Advice day one of the journey. Mm,
Yeah,
that's a
or
good.
if you have any advice for like new moms that just found out they have a diagnosis for their babies. If you can kind of give them some words about what, and even though everyone's diagnosis is different,
Yes,
but there
yes,
are
yes.
some kind of universal things that we all experience that maybe they might need to know. I know that's an on the spot question.
Yeah, it's an on the spot question, but it's good because I always look at my situation different, right? But so to speak, the first day, make sure you advocate for yourself. If something is wrong, if you feel something is wrong, if something doesn't look right, even if your pinky toe hurts after labor, say something. We are our best advocates. We are our best advocates, and I feel like you know you have to advocate for yourself. You have to.
Yeah, yes. So, and I'm going to go back and then we'll wrap it up. So, despite the journey being difficult, I know you
Mhm.
mentioned that you have, there are plenty of moments of joy and happiness that we find with our babies. Do you have like a funny moment or something that you want to share about Sky? Maybe something that happened recently, because they're always surprising us and
Oh yeah.
making us
Oh
laugh.
yeah. Um, well, I can share a funny moment of when she first started walking because I will never forget it.
Mhm.
So we were at my mom's house, and at this point, she was starting to stand up and take a couple of steps, but she hadn't really taken off yet, right? So we were sitting there, and she stood up, and she was like wobbling like like one of those bobblehead dolls, and she just took off. She ran past everybody, and we're like, "Oh, go Sky, go Sky!" And she just ran right past us, and she was just so happy. But it just tickled me because she was proud of herself in that moment.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure you were
that's a
probably
really
shocked
funny,
too.
huh?
Yeah, I know you were happy, but also shocked. Like, wait, where are you going?
I was,
Like,
yeah,
you
and
just
my mom was standing there like, "Come here, Sky, come here, Sky." So she expecting the baby
yeah.
to run to her. The baby ran straight past her. It was funny. It was funny.
Yeah, that's great. I can't wait for that moment to happen with my daughter.
It will though. It will. Even if she's walking with assistance, you know,
Mhm.
for it to happen, how it happens, however it happens, it'll happen.
So you mentioned earlier when you get overstimulated and you have to tell everybody, hey, get out or whatever it is. How do you
Yes.
take time to take care of yourself? What do you do for self-care?
What I do for self care. Um, so I am fortunate enough to have my own space in the house. It is called a mom cave. I suggest it to any any mama. If that man want that man cave, say no. I need the mom cave. Um, and it's my sanctuary. Self care for me. I love journaling. I like to write a lot of my thoughts down. And that's the best form of self-care that I feel like I could have, because let's be honest, we are in our own heads all the time, all the time. As humans, as mothers, you know? So my self-care consists of going into my own space, clearing my head, whether that's me on my face praying, reading the Bible, more so journaling though. Journaling is key for me.
OMG, I love the mom cave. I know you saw me over
Thank
here like,
you.
oh, like that
Thank
sounds
you.
heavenly. That sounds heavenly.
Thank you.
I hear that. A mom cave. If you have a mom cave, please let me know in the comments, or if you have a space carved out in your house, please let me know. I
Mhm.
didn't even think about that. And that sounds great.
See,
That
now
sounds
you
great.
have an excuse to get your own space because you're doing your
Yes,
podcast.
yes. Yeah, I have my content corner here, but I need a whole room. That can be
Listen.
my space. My
Yeah.
so let everyone know where they can find you.
Okay, guys, you can find me on all social medias. TikTok, it's KB, the special needs mom. IG, KB, the special needs mom, and on Facebook, Special Needs Mom Talk.
Thank you so much, KB, for joining us and telling us your story about Sky. And what's your 3 year old's name?
Her name is Isla.
Sky and Isla. Thank you so much for sharing them with us and talking about
Absolutely.
your journey, talking about advocacy, and just being real vulnerable about the struggle. Because you're right, we do
Absolutely.
need a safe space, and we do need to be able to talk to other moms that understand. And we look forward to you starting your coaching. So
Thank
follow KB, the
you.
special needs mom. She will be a coach to other special needs moms that need help on the journey. Is coming soon. I see it. I look forward
Thank
to it.
you.
And I guess, do you have any last words that you want to share?
My last words for each and every special needs mama, special needs dad: stay encouraged, be encouraged. Know that there is always sunshine after the rain. Always.
Yes. And I don't think anything else needs to be said after that. But
All
thank
right.
you for listening to Super Special Mamas, and I will see you guys next time.